After a long train journey today from London on the Eurostar into Paris, and a change in Paris. It was very hot in Paris, very busy. I arrived in La Rochelle. Just got to find the marina, and I can see some masts, so I'm on the way. Find the sea breeze and this beautiful boat, and take the easy way back to Britain by sea. Hello, Paul. Welcome on board Jonathan Livingston. It's a very, very nice boat. Here is the Capitan in the stern here. You've got a nice half double. You can see all the beautiful planking the boat's got. It's lovely. Got a nav area here. Wood burning stove. Not that we need it today. It is roasting in France. It's beautiful, lovely saloon area, open galley area, the butler sink, engines in here, and mind your head as we come through. Lovely skylight there. Books up in the forepeak. Got another big jib here. There's a berth up there, and a berth there. Let's have a look in the heads. It's all beautiful woodwork, very nicely crafted, and simple, very simple. You can see these oak beams. This is ply planking with oak frames. Really, really nice. Built in 2017 in a Bristol yard, and she's a replica of a Bristol Channel Pilot Cutter. Beautiful. Let's go and have a look outside. It's so hot here. The deck is stunning, absolutely gorgeous. Got a big tiller. Got our gaff main. Cabin top. Come up here. We got the bowsprit extends out. And push this right out. Goes out another 3 or 4 meters to make a 50-foot length overall. And yeah, lots of rigging, lots of lines. The deck is roasting my feet. Wow. Bowsprit out, ready for the flying jib on the end. The sun's setting. Jeff's coiling down. All right, Jeff.
Yeah, very good.
Paul's on the helm. Gosh, you look a bit salty and weather beaten. That was a hard beat. We came out of La Rochelle, and we had northwest winds, which is exactly the way we wanted to go. So we headed out just north of west into the night, put up a full main and staysail, and then this morning the wind built from 12 to knots up to plus 20 knots, and the seas got pretty big. There were no guardrails on the boat, so we all harnessed on. A few things we had to work out, so we managed to get a reef in, and then put a tack in for a little island off the French coast. And we've come in here to do a few little repairs, but we're doing some rigging, tightening up the rigging, doing a few line changes, changing how the rigging goes, drying the boat out, cooking a meal. There's a 25 knots plus blows through tonight, and then the wind goes north-east, blowing off the French coast, off the Brittany coast, the North Vendée coast, so we can tuck in tight and head up to Ushant. our sailing, the swell length has increased, so much more comfortable. We've got the big jib up, the big flying jib out the end of the bowsprit. We've got the staysail pulling well. We've got 2 reefs in the main. We're doing a bearing of 300 degrees, so we're heading northwest. And we need to go north and we need to go west to get around Ushant and out of the Bay of Biscay. I'd like to be doing 330, but happy to be doing this course, making some progress home now after a difficult day yesterday. Trucking along really nicely now. We haven't got any wind instruments on this boat, but it's a plus 25, 27 knots. Definitely a good strong force 6. And the boat's staying on herself. Not on the helm. Doing a 310, keeping the course. Just seen a whole load of foiling racing boats come past. About 30 of them. Fantastic to see them flying down the sea with the kites up, and us in an old traditional boat heading up sea. Jeff's cooked beautiful sausages and potatoes. Quite handy having a chef on board, or an ex-chef turned sailor. And we're making good way now. The wind's turned in our favour. It's north. We're meant to go a bit more northeast, and we're heading up the coast. The boat is stonking along and sailing very nicely. Well, we just left Camaret. We called in there very briefly last night to take some shelter from some 25 knot winds that came through, and we got some fuel this morning. We had a quick stop, managed to get a pizza late at night and a beer, which was very nice. And this morning the tide is running through the Canal de Four and around the channel, so the tide gate opened, so we're up early, first light, or before first light, and we've had some good sailing. It's a powerful boat, especially when the wind comes off the nose and round the beam. You can get 7 knots quite easily with 2 reefs in the main and the staysail up and the small working jib. Put more up, and she's a flyer, definitely a flyer. So I'm happy that the winds are light this morning and we can just motor over and then get down the tide race. Be good. Well, we just left Roscoff, headed for the UK, got the passport stamped as per the EU Brexit regulations now, and we're off. Happy to be heading across the channel. We've got some northeast winds, so we're heading pretty much due north, maybe 10 degrees, and then the wind forecast is meant to go east, so we can push on to 20-30 degrees bearing and try and get a little bit easting down the channel. We've got the big head sail up, got the staysail and a full main, about 10 knots of breeze. We've got no wind instruments, so it's all a guess. It's very nice sailing, and we've got all the sails up. We're just going to swab the decks, and it's nice. Light winds. There's a big high pressure in the UK at the moment, causing some high temperatures, and it creates winds down the south coast that blow easterly, and they're meant to set in by Wednesday, and we're headed to Brighton, so hoping to get in. We've got 180 odd, 190 miles from here. Yeah, it's all looking good. The boat's going very well, and Jonathan Livingston's enjoying being at sea. Lovely boat to sail.
So we're rambling along towards Roscoff, minding our own business, and look who it is. It's sailing vessel Jonathan Livingston. Okay, give it 3 degrees to starboard, yeah.
Very cool. How's the Jamaica ginger cake?
Fantastic. Top man Justin. Very good, cheers.
Well, we've made it across the channel. Quite a difficult time. Northeast winds, so tacking 90 degrees and then tacking 100 degrees, and wind shifting and changing. We crossed the Casquettes last night with all the big ships. We've timed it just right, luckily, to get into Portland. I'm just off the bill now, and we're going to nip in around the corner, thankfully. The tide's just starting to turn now and flood up the channel again. But we've got to get into Portland for some more fuel. Hey Paul, we made it to Portland to get some fuel then.
Finally, lovely sunny day. Just need the diesel now.
Finally, the headwinds have abated. We had a beautiful sunset, lovely colours on the ocean, and then the moonrise was lovely. Quiet motors to the back of the island, and then as we came round St Catherine's, the wind picked up to a strong force 4, which is lovely. Bit of sailing, headed south and east, and then tacked up tight up underneath Selsey Bill. Got lots of flood tide, did 10 knots at one time, but then of course you've got to take the rough with the smooth. The tide turns, so we're doing 2.5. Oh, 2.5 knots. We're in the right direction, 20 miles to go. We're cleaning the boat now, just cooking the last bit of food up with lunch, cleaning the boat and packing a few things up and tidying and sorting a few bits and pieces ready for arrival in Brighton. Beautiful, stunning boat, and lovely when the wind's on the beam. As you've seen, she flies along, but yeah, a little bit slow under motor and going to windward. So yeah, we'll be pleased to get in, but we've got lovely calm weather, which is nice, and sunshine. Could be worse, could be UK rain. We're nearly there.